I must confess, this is really an experience.
This? Oh, the car?
Yeah.
Oh, you've never been in one of these?
I've never been in a Tesla, and it's the bomb. Let me confess. It's the bomb.
It's the bomb.
Oh my god.
You like it, huh?
Oh my god, yeah. Let me be honest.
You want to see something even cooler?
Okay, please. Wow me.
I will wow you. So, as you can see,
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything.
Okay, I've been hearing about this. Okay.
So the car is doing everything right here.
This is amazing.
So you see the light right there?
Yeah. It's gonna stop.
Yeah, I'm not stepping on anything. You see my feet? So it stopped and it's signaling.
Because it knows you direct. Oh my god. Oh shit.
So even a turn, it could turn on red light. It went. This is doing this. It can make a right turn on red because it knows there are no cars coming. So it's, my job here is just to babysit, make sure it behaves. You know, it might act up here and there.
Because since it's man-made, it might malfunction at times.
You're right.
So you're supposed to like take care of it. It's a baby.
It's a baby. That is right. That's exactly what it is. It's like a teenager.
Yeah.
You know, the way I've heard people describe it, it's like a teenager that's learning how to drive.
Okay.
So even at the stop sign, it will come, stop, then wait for its turn. It will let me know, waiting for its turn, and then it will go. Even though that car came, it still knows.
It knows that it's its turn.
It's its turn to go. Shit. Yeah.
Oh God. Wow.
Are you wow yet?
I am. Wow.
You see it feels it. It didn't step on the, it didn't know that car was coming. It didn't slam on the brakes or anything like that. But before, it used to do that.
Yeah.
So over time, they just send software updates and they get better and better over time. So this is a yellow and it's gonna stop. If that was me driving, I might have just ran it, you know.
But it knows it's gonna change red before it crosses.
Yeah. So it just stopped right there. There was a before it used to do it where it can calculate. Oh, I can make it. Then it goes. But the NHTSA, National something highway, whatever, the people that control, you know, cars on the road, that department forced Tesla to implement a software update where when there's a yellow, it should stop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is all software, you know, they can make it better as time progresses. So I'm just babysitting right now. It is gonna go. It know that car was coming, that's why you felt it slow down, because it saw right there. And they will change lanes here, and then it will signal.
Oh my god.
You sound like my aunt right now. I made her experience it because she's African just like you, and I'm African as well, right? She's like, That's all she was saying. She was like, this is some witchcraft.
No, it's software.
It is
technology.
Software. It's technology.
Advanced technology.
That's right.
Wow.
And it just knowing when it's green, going, stopping at red light, even stuff like that is just impressive, right?
It is.
I think
it's super impressive.
And it's going to go immediately as soon as it turns green. It goes, and it will go. And I can tell where it wants to go based on that blue line that you see in front of me.
Yeah. Okay.
That's its like intentions, what it's planning on doing. So here, let's see if it'll slow down or just go. Okay, good. It's blinking flat. You're not supposed to stop.
Yeah, when it's blinking yellow.
Before it used to like kind of like do this. Should I stop? Should I go? It doesn't like it's just blinking, you know. But now, you know, like I said, it's just the updates.
Upgrade.
Yeah. And there's still, this is not even the latest software of this technology right now. The latest one is 11.4.4. I'm on 11.3.6. So there's still one that's improved. Yeah. So even here, right? It will switch lanes eventually. Let me see if I have it, because sometimes I have it on minimal lane change, because sometimes I change lane too much for my liking. But let's see if I raise the speed. Let's see what it would do. I let it do its thing. If I signal, it will change lane. Let's say if I signal here, it's going to change lane. But sometimes it will, like, because it knows that car's going too slow, it will switch over to get on a faster lane. Yeah.
I've had an experience today. It's gonna go down in in my history.
This is a memorable moment for you, right?
It's a memorable ride for me.
See, it's doing it, right? What I told you? I didn't do anything right here, right? But it switched lane because, yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm sorry, but I'm trying not to hold. I'm trying to hold myself, but I can't.
No, I love it. I like when people experience this. That's why I like. That's why I actually, if you want to see something cooler, and I like to show the people, right?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You literally. I feel like I cannot stop smiling. You just made my day.
Hey, it was my pleasure. You made my day by being excited because I love technology and I love when people get excited about it as well. Because in the future, this is where we're going.
Yes, actually.
And this is way safer on the highway, especially than a human.
Yes.
Because humans, they get distracted easily. You know, you're on your phone, or you might, because there's an accident, you might look and get nosy. You know. So this, I think, is even now, I think it's safer on the highway than people.
Yeah.
Because it's not distracted.
That's true.
You know. And this can just get you home. Let's say you have a long day, you're tired, you know, like you today.
Like you said, you've been out for 7 hours. You don't really feel tired because the car does most of the work.
Most of the work, that's right. Only if people want to experience it, right?
Yeah.
So normally I'm doing most of the driving, but if people like, oh, nice car, this and that, I'm like, oh, you want to see something cool? And I show it to them, right? But sometimes people might not be comfortable with it, right? So I don't want to make people uncomfortable, right? Yeah. So let's say when you were driving right here, let's say if there's a truck, those 24 wheelers beside me, the car will actually move to the side a bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if it's on the left or right, it will move to the side, not to get too close to it. Like how you would normally drive as a person, you don't want to get too close to it, right? So the car will actually move to the side. So here is where it should, like, if you are a human, what would you do here? Would you want to get out of here, right? And go in the middle lane. But the car's not doing it. It should do it, right? But that's one of the things that it should get better at.
That's true.
You know, even though we're going above the speed limit a bit, but cars are over there going faster than us, right? So we should get out of the passing lane. This is the passing lane. But I wanted to see what it would do if it would do that. Because sometimes it does do it. It will let me know, or getting out of, you know, passing lane to get into, but it hasn't done it yet. So what I can do, I can just signal and make it go over. But there are like no cars behind us really, you know, it's free. So I just want to test the system more and see what it would do. But I would just signal and for it to go over there, because I can manually just signal for it to go over, right? Let's just stay here, you know. It'll be a long time before we see this in Africa. You know?
A long time is an understatement.
We have to fix the roads first.
Yeah, we do.
One of the best ways to use this, if you're going on a long road trip, you know, if you're going to Chicago or something like that, right? You just put in that address where you're going, plug it in. When you get out of your driveway, you just press the button, you turn it on, and just start moving. Stopping at stop sign, stopping at the light, going, getting on the highway. You see this blinking thing?
Yeah.
It's asking me to apply pressure on the wheel. Okay. To make sure I'm paying attention. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you don't fall asleep, even though you're not controlling it, but you should be alert.
You should, exactly. You should definitely be alert. It's still, you're still liable for everything. So if the car makes a mistake, you're not paying attention, then you are responsible for that. So you still, for your own, you know, pay attention. So I always, especially for now, let the technology keep getting better, because like I said, eventually we will get there. If people would not imagine something like this, you know, even now, some people don't even know this car can do that, right? Like all the things that it did before it got on the highway. People don't even know it. I show people like, what?
I actually, because I studied in Europe, so like 1 year, so you know, Europe is all about sustainability and all things like this. So I did projects on Tesla, but I didn't know that it was this amazing.
It is advanced, right?
It was just the theory. I've heard a lot of theory about it. So putting the dots to what I've learned is just This sustainability thing is a whole other level.
It is, it is. So this is telling us to get on 62, but this is wanting us to go on 494. Which one will be the best way? It's the same miles and distance, but I mean, it's the same thing anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I was just trying to, because the car is following this nav right here, right? And I always have Google Maps running as well, just to know traffic really well. But you see, you feel it slowing down?
Yeah, it's
because it wants to go over. Because it knows that we're about to exit soon. So your car slow down itself to get behind these cars, so we can get on 62 here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long does the battery last if you charge it?
So there's some variables. So driving habit and weather condition. Let's say if it's really cold, you lose range. But on days like today, I can get about. You should exit. You should exit. Come on. Okay, there we go. There we go. It should make that decision a lot quicker. But it was like days like today, about 350, 60, 70 miles. If I'm being generous, 370 miles. From like 100% to 0, which is more than enough. That's what most people have on their regular cars, right?
Okay, yeah.
But this is their longest range model they offer. This Tesla Model S long range. Look, it's doing this.
Yeah.
Step on it. You confused? All right, there you go. It seems like they just fixed this there, the lines a bit. So, well, you can get about 360, 370 on a full charge. But in the winter time, I could get probably in the mid 200s, maybe a little low 200, like 220, 230, depending on how cold it really gets. So if it get, Minnesota gets cold, right?
Really cool.
So depending on how cold it gets, how much I use for the, the AC or the heat, it affects the battery, the range, that type of thing. So it's give or take. And how hard you step on the accelerator and your driving habit, right? These cars are fun to drive because they're really quick. 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, which is like supercar level of speed. So people love to they get to the red light, they like to step on it. So if you drive like that all the time, you're using a lot more range. Similar to like a gas car. If you always stepping hard on that gas pedal, you're using more gas, right? It's kind of like the same thing. Yeah, but I could work with this. I could work all day. Like I said, I've worked for I've been out since So
So it's still like 35%.
No, 39. So it's letting me know what percentage we'll have when we get there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what that number says.
35, okay.
And it's always accurate. Yeah, it's always accurate. Yeah. So this is, it even has an app that I can pull up here that shows my energy consumption, what's causing me to use a lot of energy. So it says driving, climate, battery conditioning, elevation and stuff like that. See, I took over right here. That's why I said pay attention, right?
Yeah, that's true.
If that was me driving, I know that car is coming. They have to merge, but they had enough room to keep going before they get in, right? But they was trying to get in quick. So right there, I stepped on the brake because I wasn't comfortable how the car was going, right? But situation like that, that's why it's good to pay attention. But yeah, this shows me everything. It gives me all the details of how I'm driving, how much more I consume compared to what the car was estimating for the day. So I consume 9.8% more than what it was estimating that I will be using for the day. So stuff like that, Yeah. And I've driven about, I could tell, I've driven 154 miles so far, and I'm still at like 39%. And I started there at 90%. Yeah. So you can easily get over 200, 250, 300, depending on, like I said, all the other things. Yeah, so.
I can't thank you enough for this. It's mind-blowing.
It is, right?
Imagine. Oh my God. No, I'm sure you can imagine.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you carry a lot of people who...
Everyone today that's gotten into the car, nice car, man. It's cool. Even the roof, you seen the roof?
It's a whole
all
level.
It's all glass, so you can see outside. And there's a wireless charger back there for you as well. Okay. So if you need to charge your phone, it has wireless charger. You can charge your phone there. You know, these seats are heated and cooled.
Yeah.
You know, back there it's heated but not cool. But I can have cool seats here. Even the trunk, it's a lot more room than people expect, because it has an under space. So I could put another luggage there. There's no engine in the front, so I could put small things in the front as well. And this screen, I could watch Netflix, YouTube, you know, while I'm parked.
Yeah.
I can't do it while I'm driving. In the future, maybe, you know, when the car is doing all of the driving in the future, even though it's doing it now, but maybe 20, 30 years down in the future, you can probably sleep while your car is taking you home, you know. So this is just, we're at the edge of things. This is the most advanced, they call it ADAS system.
Okay.
Automatic driving assistant, I believe, system.
Okay.
So this is the most advanced out there. You know, there are other ones that Ford has, Blue Cruise, but it's not even close to Tesla level. Mercedes has theirs, and you know,
it's nowhere close.
No, it's not.
Now I think Tesla is
they're winning.
Boss.
Yeah, they've set the bar pretty high. Yeah. And I love it, man. I love these type of things. They're pushing the other companies to try to innovate, and that creates competition, and that helps the consumer at the end, right? So I love this whole, you know, all these companies are coming out with their own electric cars now. I seen one that Hyundai came out with recently. It's not out yet, but they've had theirs. They've had a couple, Ioniq 5, EV6, I think it's called, and then the Kona. They've had a couple, and they're very popular. But they have another one that's coming out, the Ioniq 5N, which is like the performance, and that one looks so cool. I might even get that one.
Self-drive?
No, it doesn't have all the full self-driving system, but it has a way you can do it on the highway. They have a great one on the highway, but not like in the city and stuff like that. They can't do what a Tesla could do. Love to drive. I love the experience. I want to drive my car. I want to put in. People are like, don't put miles in. No, I want to put in miles in my car. I have my aunt who just bought a Toyota. She doesn't really want to put no. I'm like, it's a car. Drive it. Like, what are you gonna? I mean, why you buy a car? Exactly. Like, drive your car. You know. But people are so worried about depreciation and stuff like that, which is cool.
But when it's parked, it depreciates way faster than when you.
Well, the miles affect it more so, right? But regardless, you still have to. It's just a car. You know, if you buy brand new shoes, you're not gonna wear your brand new shoes. It's gonna get dirty, you know, it's gonna crease, and eventually you're gonna get some new pair of shoes, right? But it's a car you might hold for years. You know, just drive it. You're not gonna put in enough miles to the point where it's depreciating it. So you're not wanting to drive your car because you're scared of depreciating it. You know, most people don't drive 10,000 miles a year. You know, you hold your car for 4 or 5 years, you still haven't even put in 50,000 miles on your car yet. And the years to the car, that miles, you know, doesn't really mean a lot. Like this car is 2021, but if I put in 100,000 miles on the car this year, compared to it being, let's say, 2027, and then I put in 100,000 miles, I have way less value then than now. You understand what I'm saying?
I get it.
So just drive it. Just drive it. So I'm not really tripping, and I have 150,000 miles of warranty on the car. So if something goes wrong with the battery or the powertrain, I get it fixed for free. As long as it's not my fault, I didn't cause the damage, right? I get it fixed for free. So to me, I love this thing. Like, it puts a smile on my face every time I get into it. I drive it. Honestly, it does. Like, I love it. I complain a lot about other things. There's other things that I'm annoyed about. Like, for instance, in this model, the Model S, there's no horn here. I actually installed this myself. I bought something, and I kind of like hacked the system where I could use certain features. Like, to use the light, I have to do this, go to lights, and then turn on and not have to look, where's my lights? You know, oh, I'm not parking lights. Oh, my dome lights. I have to look for it, right? But instead of me doing that, I installed this thing. I have it attached down here. I just press this button. And my light came on. You know, I turn it back off. So instead of me doing all of that, right? So this is my horn. So I installed this for this to be my horn. So stuff like that. There's no horn. This is the right lane. Okay, what are you doing? Are we good, right? We good. Okay, because we're about to make a right soon. And this car came with something called like the yoke steering wheel.
Okay.
So like basically this top part was not there. It's just like the bottom part. It's really cool looking.
Yeah.
Like how like the airplane. Autopilot speed limited. Emergency lights. Are there any emergency lights? Huh. It just gave me some type of notice saying autopilot, but I think it saw some of that construction light over there. Yeah. Well, yeah, to answer your question, I think it's worth it depending on which model you get. And the Model Y is the one that I will always recommend for people. It's more practical. It's like kind of like an SUV. Let's see what it's gonna do here. It's signaling. If that was me, I would have went already, right? But the car is taking its time because it's cautious.
Be sure.
Yeah, it wants to be sure before it makes any turns.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm literally not gonna stop smiling today.
It brought you, since I turned it on, I haven't except for the time I stepped on the brakes right there, right?
Yeah.
On the highway. But beside that, I haven't really done anything.
Yeah.
It's doing all of the driving, you know. Like I have my feet here, my hand here, just in case, right? But I don't really need to. I could just do this, and until it tells me to apply pressure, I do it, right? But sometimes the car can get scared. Let's say if it sees a person, it might just step on the brake because it gets scared. Oh, it's a person. Oh no, it panics sometimes, right? But as a person, when I'm driving, I know, oh, they might not do this or do that, where they're going. You can kind of like make decisions like that. But the car is very cautious, like as you saw over there, right? It wants to pay attention, make sure there's nothing going wrong. But if there's a person behind me, they'll get annoyed. Just go. What are you doing? It's clear, right? So that's why sometimes I'm here, like, if it gets too annoying, I'll just step on the gas to give it some juice. But the only thing I can do is do this. I can give it gas, right? But I don't. Just in case, let's say if someone behind me over there, I can just do this. Just go. I give it confidence for it to go. But overall, it's doing all the driving for us.
Oh my God! See, I'll have a very long story to tell this night. Oh, Jesus.
Your trip home was interesting, right?
See, my brother paid for the trip. I think like 3 rides canceled. And then when you accepted it, then he was like, "It's a Tesla." I'm like, "Oh Jesus, please let this ride not cancel." He was like, "Okay." I think you were like 5 minutes or something. So after 5 minutes, he was like, the guy has not cancelled, so the person is coming. And I'm okay. Yeah.
Because when I was coming to get you, I actually had I was using the car. The car was driving me, so it changed because the light changed. It stopped. Remember the yellow? It stopped. So when I'm driving, most of the time,
he's coming. This is my chance.
This is your chance. Your first experience in a Tesla. Also experiencing something like this as well.
Yeah, it's mind blowing.
It is definitely mind-blowing.
It is mind-blowing.
Like I said, I get annoyed a lot by certain things about the car because I use it a lot, so I notice some of the things. But when other people get into it, they see, oh, the car's doing this and doing that. They're like, oh my this is so cool. But I'm so used to it now. That's one of the things about getting used to something. You get annoyed by little stuff. You start nitpicking. Why are you stopping on the brake so hard right there? Even though it's not too hard. I just little stuff like that. Why are you stopping here? Because you see a person, on their bike, it's like slowing down a lot, and it's like trying to go around them. But it's being cautious, which is important.
Good.
It's good, exactly. It's good. In the future, they will try to make it a lot more comfortable. But now, safety is the most important thing. Which
they should keep it that way.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the actual essence of it, the main thing is for safety.
Yeah.
So if it's not extra cautious, then it might bump into things because people really get crazy on it.
Yes, right. There's too many variables when it comes to humans. That's why I want the computer to do most of the driving for us, because it's not doing dumb stuff. It's not like swerving on the white line or whatever. It's perfectly in the line, in the middle of the line.
It's not drinking and driving.
It's not drinking and driving, exactly. So there's so many ways that this can save so many lives. Won't even know how to drive anymore.
Because I'm actually learning how to drive.
Oh, you don't know how to drive?
No.
Oh, well, this car can take you. This car can drive you.
So I'm learning. Today I actually drove myself to work, so my brother brought me.
Okay, so he was here while you were driving. Gotcha.
I'm learning. I'm gaining confidence
There you
on
go.
the road.
Highway is the scariest spot for people that learn how to drive because of speed. People are scared because my aunt, she didn't drive on the highway for years, like literally years. She just took the back roads because she was so scared of the speed. But if you want to see, it should not do this. I knew it was gonna, but it corrected itself.
Yeah.
You noticed? You saw that?
And it wanted to go that way, and then it came back.
Yeah, then it came back because they noticed that line was a right turn.
Another lane.
Yeah, but sometimes it does that. I'm like, why? And I get it. It's you know, it's signaling, but then it's learning. Okay, oh, I should not do that.
Yeah.
But sometimes it does go all the way to that lane and start like, oh, I'm supposed to be over there. Let me go over there. Or if there are cars behind us, then it like it just, you know, it's a hassle, right? So stuff like that. As soon as I notice it doing it, I like, nope.
You just bring it back.
I take control. Because anytime I put enough force on the wheel, I'm fully in control.
Yeah.
So to disengage, if I step on the brakes, if I put enough force, and if I press the same button that I use to engage it, I take full control. Yeah. Okay. So anytime that blue line disappears, that means I'm driving. When it's on, that means the car is doing all the driving. Yeah.